So today what we're going to talk about is substituting some grains for meat. So typically old school, the raw meat, the raw ground beef that you used to bring into the kitchen that you made a lot of dishes with, like tacos and things like that, we're going to throw all that out the door and we're going to substitute it with something much, much better, which are the plant-based, the whole grains, the legumes, things like that. So what we're trying to do is figure out what the best substitutions are and then add those flavor profiles to it. So for example, we've got farro, which is an ancient grain, and it's just, it's high in iron, more iron content than ground beef. We've got like quinoa, you've got red lentils that you can use because they really break down when they cook. So let's get going, and I'm gonna do something that's a typical thing, which is tacos. So if we use farro for our tacos, it could be called a faco maybe. So we're rethinking everything. And we're gonna get all of that raw meat product out of our lives. So that is the goal of whole food, plant-based. Let's talk about our seasoning and the taco seasoning here. So there's a couple of options we can do. Number one is you can buy the packets of the pre-done seasoning, the packets or containers. The only issue is they tend to be a little overpriced and they tend to be not exactly what you might want. So for 1 pound of product, let's call it, a combination of our grains, even if you were using some kind of ground meat, whether it be turkey or hamburger or one of those things, it's about 3 tablespoons of taco seasoning to 1 pound of whatever you're using. So in this case, we've got, if you see the tablespoon here, this pile of the pre-made taco seasoning is about 3 tablespoons. Option number 2, if you want to make your own and make it your own, here's what I use. The blend of most taco seasonings are going to be about and this is for 1 serving, about 1 tablespoon of chili powder. Okay, so there's the chili powder, 1 tablespoon. We've also got 1 teaspoon of cumin, pretty much 1 teaspoon of oregano. So we've got chili powder again, about 3 to 1, 3 times the amount of chili powder to our cumin right here, and then our oregano right here. And then we've got some onion powder and garlic. I use about twice as much onion powder, so about 1 teaspoon of onion powder. It's this one. It's hard to tell the difference. They're both light color. There is the onion powder right there. And here is the garlic seasoning. So you blend all that with, here's the important thing, with as much heat as you want. I have the liquid there, but I just want to do that to make it pretty. But you can throw in, probably start with 1/2 teaspoon of red chili pepper flakes or a little less cayenne pepper. I really like heat, but a lot of people don't. So that would be in addition to this blend right here is your heat. So whatever you want for your heat would be in addition to this. And also probably start with 1/2 teaspoon of salt and pepper and then adjust it as you like. The other thing, and that's really your basic, pre-done taco seasoning to make your own customized taco seasoning. That's the basic ingredients right there. The other thing I always add, because I add it to everything, is a little bit of nutritional yeast. It just gives it kind of a more robust, that, kind of cheesy flavor. I don't add a whole lot, like one teaspoon, but this would be my blend right here of homemade taco seasoning. And that would be all mixed up and go on approximately 1 pound of cooked product. And then of course I add a lot of heat. So there is your tablespoon, there's your teaspoon, and you can get the visuals. Again, store-bought, 3 tablespoons to 1 pound, or make your own chili powder, cumin, oregano, onion powder, garlic powder, your heat, whatever heat you want, and your salt and pepper, and maybe optional would be nutritional yeast, maybe a little paprika. Okay, let's put together the filling for our tacos or facos or lentil tacos, whatever you want to do. So with this particular dish, I have 1 cup of cooked farro. I have 1 cup of diced onions and 1 cup of chopped mushrooms. Now, because we're doing this, we're doing dishes like this, we're doing filling, it's very forgivable, very flexible. What I tend to do is like 1/3 of a grain and 2/3 of vegetable mushrooms work really well if it's going to be like a ground beef kind of substitute. Farro works really well, but you know, lentils could take the place. You could just throw in kind of anything. And then we put in our taco seasoning. And remember, it was 3 tablespoons of taco seasoning, whether you made it yourself or you bought it. And because the mushrooms in this case are going to give off some moisture, we really don't need to add that much water, probably like 1/4 to 1/2 cup. But again, it kind of depends on your ingredients here, and you just want to work with it and stir it, taste it. The nice thing about vegan and whole food plant-based is that you can taste as you go, so you can end up with the perfect dish. And it's just really having fun with it and coming out with the end product that is just delicious and so healthy.